Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today to put on a special presentation of LUXMAN MAGICO and Chad Kassem from Acoustic Sounds. We're going to be playing some very unique vinyl records and recordings curated by Chad, and I think all of you will enjoy it. In addition, just for background, the system that we're going to be using for your listening consists of LUXMAN Electronics and MAGICO Loudspeakers, the details of which are available on a handout sheet in the back of the room over in that corner. So we won't get into the individual components. So without further delay, say hello to Chad Kassem from Acoustic Sounds.
Thank you all for coming, and we want to thank LUXMAN for letting us do this or working together with us. We love their products. I have some of the old vintage LUXMAN that's still working, and the look, the turntable is so nice, so simple, and so we really are happy to be working in this room with this system. So anyway, we're going to be playing you Atlantic Records. It's Atlantic Records 75th anniversary, and I'm very good friends with the CEO, chairman of the board, Craig Kalman. He's a real big audiophile, music lover. He's one of our best customers. Most people in the music business don't buy music anymore. You know what I mean? They've had it so much all around them, they don't really seem to be passionate or care too much about, or at least owning music. But Craig is the exception, and he makes up for so many of them because he buys so much. He's our absolute #1 best customer, and he also is, again, the CEO of Atlantic. So when he wanted to do this series, he called us because he wanted them to be done in the best possible way to represent his label and his artists the best quality possible. So he called us, and we picked, me and him together, we picked 75 titles. You know, he let me know something he wanted to see, and we went back and forth, but pretty much tried to pick them great sounding, not just good music, you know, great sounding and things that our customers who are audiophiles want, you know, like, and so we picked 75, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play, John's going to help me DJ a few of the records, and it's just a sampling of some of the records that we've done. And so, again, the series has just been unbelievable. We have subscriptions to the series. You can sign up to get them all. And some of the really surprises is Genesis. I had no idea how popular Genesis is, and we just can't keep it in stock. Another thing I'm realizing is, like, people want 90s music, like the Stone Temple Pilots, and I'm a little older, so I'm learning more about the newer music. I know that's not new music anymore, it's 30 years old, but to me it's new. So I'm learning, I'm getting surprised by the sales of some of these things, and so I'm trying to keep my ears open and keep learning from our customers. And I learn everything from y'all. I mean, actually, like, everything that I know, I learned from listening to my customers, and I appreciate y'all's support. So we're going to play a little sampling of the series. They're cut at 45 RPM. We press them. We have our own pressing plant called Quality Record Pressings. We press them there. We use the best mastering engineers all over the world, like either Bernie Grunman, Ryan K. Smith, Kevin Gray, Matt Luthans, Doug Sachs. Well, I know Doug's no longer living, but we still have, sometimes we have parts that Doug cut, of course, while he was living. So we use the best mastering engineers, the best pressing plant. We use Stoughton for the record jackets. So we try to...
and great vinyl, too.
Yeah, the vinyl comes from Thailand, and we press it at Quality Record Pressings. And so, okay, we're going to play. The first song we're going to play is a little bit of Yes from the Fragile album called Roundabout. We're going to play the first minute. And it might get a little loud. Better? Okay, the next album we're gonna play is, I know I'd like to play the whole song of this, but it'll take a couple hours, so we're gonna. Next song is the Alice Cooper Welcome in My Nightmare. When I got the test pressing back from this, I mean, I was just totally blown away. The original had been cut by Doug Sax, who's one of my idols, and we bought his system. And usually it's hard to beat when we remaster an album and Doug Sax cut it. Usually it's hard to beat, you know. But Chris Bellman cut this at 45 and we got it back. I just couldn't even believe it. I didn't even have to pull out the original to compare it to because I think you'll see.
Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal vacation, unnecessary sedation. You wanna feel at home.
All right, so you have to listen to that test pressing. I didn't feel it necessary to pull the original out. I think they did all right. So that was Chris Bellman who cut that. The next song we're gonna play, everybody knows, is Otis Redding, Dock of the Bay. So we cut it at 45 RPM, and so should be about the best you've ever heard this song. We're gonna play the whole song this time.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of
Is that all right? Or did it get too loud? Man, when that's fixing to happen and I can tell it's loud and I'm like, oh shoot, man. I hope we don't blow these speakers, but it's amazing. Yeah, how they were able to handle that so well. I mean, there's no distortion, just clean as could be. All right, now we're gonna play some Bad Company. Sound a little bit better than my cassette deck in my 1973 Monte Carlo. But yeah.
But it planted the seed.
What's that?
It planted the seed.
There you go. Yeah, brings me right back. So this song, you've heard this song a million times, but if you tell me you heard it better than what it's fixing to sound like, I'll tell you you're lying. Sometimes musicians, when they talk about recordings, they talk about all they really care about is getting a good groove, if the feeling's there. They'd rather worry about that than high quality sound. You know, it's all about the groove. It's all about the feeling. But my argument is like, what if you recorded that great groove and that great feeling and got the best sound it possibly could be? Wouldn't that be better? And which, you know, we know the answer to that. But I mean, like, it's the greatest part of my job, and the thing that makes me lucky is I feel like to be able to work on your favorite albums and have them come back sounding better than they've ever sounded before. I mean, it's really satisfying. It don't always happen like that. Sometimes you get them and that part is work, and it gets frustrating, you know, to recut it 4 times at 2,000, 3,000 a crack, and sometimes you even go further in the wrong direction. But when you finally get it sounding better than it's ever sounded before, and it's your favorite record, it's pretty special. So we're gonna play Ray Charles, Sinner's Prayer.
Well, if I've done somebody wrong, have mercy. Keep on working now, child.
So yeah, Ray Charles was one of the most important people on Atlantic, especially at the beginning. And this was like maybe a mid-50s, maybe even early 50s recording. So I think it sounded pretty good for.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, stop Crosby.
All right, we're gonna play Crosby, Stills and Nash from the Couch album.
Others nearby, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gentle true spirit. He runs, wishing he could fly.
So this particular album, if you ever listen to the original, I mean, this blows the original so far away it's not even funny. And I mean, might say it's an opinion, but I feel pretty strongly about it because we listened to so many different masterings. In fact, I had somebody at Bernie Grundman cut it again, and we got the test pressing, and then we went back to the original part that Bernie cut for Classic Records, and we just couldn't even come close. I mean, he nailed it. I don't know what he did. Nobody. You can listen to all the other so-called audiophile, whatever. It's not even close. And Bernie did. There's something, same with Deja Vu. We're going to be working on that one. There's something about those 2 recordings. They weren't the best recordings. They're hard to work with, but they're some of the greatest albums. But I mean, we're real happy. Like what Bernie did for Classic is just, I don't think it'll ever be topped. So we're going to play a little Coltrane.
I just want to add one thing. I've been up here as the DJ handling this vinyl for the last 40 minutes. And I've been handling records for over 50 years. I got to tell you, this is some of the cleanest looking vinyl I've ever seen in terms of like, when you look at the vinyl itself, the record surface, it's very unusual to see quality of vinyl like this. It's remarkable, actually.
Thank you. That's a nice compliment. All right, that's it for the Atlantic. We're gonna play, we just released War's Greatest Hits. And we're gonna play a couple songs from that, and then that'll be it. And then tomorrow we'll do Pablo's, and on Sunday we'll be doing the UHQRs. So, side one. right. Well, we want to thank everybody for coming. If you have any questions.
Yes, thank you all for coming on behalf of LUXMAN and MAGICO, and of course, Chad and Acoustic Sounds and his record producing family. Pretty good, huh?
Great job. It's phenomenal. I'm a subscriber, and I don't have everything, but it's phenomenal. It's doing a service to those of us out here in the world that really appreciate it.
Well, if you're going to listen to optimal recordings of albums that you love, as Chad is saying, when you hear something like the very subtleties of the way the volume dynamics shift at the beginning of Roundabout because it fades in, and Steve Howe's guitar is very precise. When the shift in the rest of the band comes in, older pressings, sometimes it gets a little bit distorted or jumbled and you don't hear the elements of instrumentation. Same thing with Crosby, Stills, and Nash when the vocal harmonies are coming together and helplessly hoping when you can pick out here's where Graham is in the height, here's where David comes in, here's where Steven comes in. That's the particulars that some other pressings don't quite have. That's what you're looking for.
Please like and subscribe for more audiophile content.